Welcome into Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Thursdays wherever you may be across this great country or this great land. We got chaos. Chaos in every direction. Chaos everywhere. And you know who cuts through chaos better than anyone? Your boy right here. Before we get started in cutting through all of the chaos, I am Clay Travis, and I hope all of you are ready to buckle up and sign up for the Outkick VIP. I've never seen anything like this. The number of you out there that are signing up for the VIP is gratifying to my heart. We are creating an incredible collection of Outkick VIPs that is going to allow us to expand the Outkick media universe much faster than I ever anticipated. We are almost all out of books, all right? By the end of this week, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to offer any more books as a part of the Outkick VIP package. But for everybody out there who says, okay, Clay, I love you. And believe it or not, there are a lot of you. And you say, I love Jason Whitlock. I love everything that you guys are doing at Outkick. This is on fire right now. I was hoping that we were going to get 10,000 VIPs. Our business CEO, Sam Savage, says, no. We're going to get 100,000 VIPs. So we are going to blow through, I think, 10,000. And as we are continuing to rack up all the VIPs and setting up all sorts of cool events and everything else, we are going to be bringing in more and more and better content for all of you. So if you absolutely love what we're doing at Outkick, you like the podcast, you like the radio show, you like reading the sites, if you want to support what we are doing, then go sign up today for Outkick VIP. I don't know how much longer you're going to be able to get an autographed copy of my book, but at least for right now, you can. So Outkick.com, click on the VIP link, and yes, we have message boards. The message board is up and running behind the paywall. It is getting very active. You get a VIP message board. You get only people who can comment on articles are VIPs. You get a VIP access to our radio show where you can call in when we're taking calls. And on top of all that, you get an autographed copy of the book and access to our events, as well as my world-famous gambling picks a little bit early. It's going to be awesome. All right, so this is going to be a continuing killer app. I appreciate all of you. Go sign up at Outkick.com. All right, we got a lot to get to. Let's start off with the Big Ten. I'll get to the coronavirus in a minute. The Big Ten is reportedly doing away with its non-conference slate of football games this fall, and as a result, we would lose, according to reports, Michigan at Washington, Ohio State at Oregon. These are the best non-conference games, I think, looking at the schedule. Miami at Michigan State, Wisconsin, Notre Dame at Lambeau, and Penn State, Virginia Tech. There are other games that are going on, non-conference, obviously, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 I just named for you are probably the 5 best, all right? So again, Michigan, Washington, Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Notre Dame, Penn State, Virginia Tech. Reports are that the Big Ten is only going to play conference games, but that they might play as many as 10 conference games. All right? So let's go back through right here, and this is going to be interesting, I think, to break down. All right? Here's what's happening, okay? I believe the Coronabros in the media and elsewhere have targeted all of their attention now on college football because they realize they have lost the battle when it comes to Major League Baseball, when it comes to the NBA, when it comes to the MLS, when it comes to the NHL, and likely when it comes to the NFL. All 5 of those pro sports leagues are going to play. Okay, let me repeat that. The NFL, Major League Baseball, the NBA, the MLS, and whoever else, NHL. All 5 major pro sports leagues are going to play. Now, I can't guarantee you how many games they're going to play, because I'm not going to try to be in the prediction business for what's going to happen in 2020. If an alien spacecraft suddenly arrived like an Independence Day and began to let out all sorts of alien space fighters right now, I wouldn't even remotely be surprised, honestly, at this point, because they already told us that UFOs are real in 2020, and it's like the 50th most improbable thing that's happened this year already, okay? And we're not even to real election season, all right? But all 5 of the American pro sports leagues are going to start. NASCAR is underway. The PGA is happening. The UFC is going. Boxing is back. Every single major sport is either underway or will soon be underway, okay? And I believe all of the Coronabros, aided by many of the Coronabro-related media, have now all put all of their focus, all of their eggs in the cancel college football basket. I'm not lying about this. I think the Coronabros have recognized they've lost every other battle when it comes to sports coming back. Because if you remember, early on, the Coronabros were like, oh, we're never playing sports in 2020. Just go ahead and move on to 2021. We can't do anything until there's a vaccine. And then they lost. They lost all the pro sports leagues. They lost all the individual sports. They all came back like I told you they were. And now the Coronabros are focusing all of their attention on trying to stop college football. And if you go through Twitter, every time somebody gets a positive test in college football, it echoes through Twitter. People are like, oh my God, somebody who is not at all sick tested positive for the coronavirus. How in the world are we ever going to recover from this? It is happening all throughout all of college football. People actually lose their minds over this, okay? Let me reiterate the facts, because what I tell you all the time matters. The facts, the facts, the facts. The facts are these. You are more likely to be struck by lightning than you are to die of the coronavirus if you were on a college campus and you were a college kid, all right? You are more likely to die driving back to campus if you are a college kid than you are to die of the coronavirus, all right? The data is clear. College kids are not in danger of dying as a group from the coronavirus. This is indisputably true. I don't know why people won't recognize it. In fact, college kids are more likely to die of the flu and pneumonia. I don't know about you, but have you ever heard of a college football game canceled because of the flu or because of the pneumonia? No, it has never occurred. All right? This is indisputably a panic that is not justified by existing data. Okay? Now, here is the problem. The Coronabros have seeded the idea that school shouldn't happen and college shouldn't happen either. And all of these are intimately connected. Donald Trump came out and said school needs to be back in session. And suddenly, the fact that 67,000 pediatricians had said that, and the fact that kids in school age are 20 times as likely to die of the flu as of the coronavirus, all of the data didn't matter. People opposed, because many of them have Trump derangement syndrome, anything Donald Trump says, lots of idiots immediately say the opposite just because they hate Donald Trump. Okay? So, the data here is not complicated. College kids need to be in school just like my kindergartner needs to be in school this fall, just like my 4th grader needs to be in school this fall, and just like my 7th grader needs to be in school this fall. And what needs to happen is all college campuses need to be open and all college athletics needs to be taking place. Period. Okay? What is starting to happen is the media has got the school presidents and the athletic directors panicked because they don't actually have much of a backbone in a social media age. What happens is somebody out there tweets them something mean, or their name gets written about something mean, and they panic and they have no backbone. Okay? Here's the truth. They all need to live for one day in my life. Just be in the center of a hurricane one time in your life. Just be in the center of a perpetual media outrage machine one time in your life. I live there. To quote from Bain, what does he say? I was born there. All right? That is where Outkick lives. We are in the center of a storm every single day. That's where you have to be when you're in the arena on the front lines fighting. That's what we do at Outkick. All right? That is what we do every single day. And so we are 100% ready for it. These athletic directors, by and large, and these school presidents are not. So what we need everybody to do is actually get active and let everybody know that you expect for schools to be back open. And all this is tied together, and I'm fired up about it because my hometown of Nashville is sending kids home for a month instead of putting them in school, despite the fact that every single piece of science says kids should actually be in school. There's no argument here. There is no argument at all against the idea that kids should be in school. My hometown of Nashville, where I went K through 12 in public school, Nashville schools are not opening for the first month of the school season at least, and teachers are only teaching for 2 hours a day. And they're only teaching for 2 hours a day to a small percentage of the overall audience because 31% of Nashville public school kids don't have a computer at home and 20% of them have no internet. So you know what would solve this problem immediately? If you are only teaching for 2 hours every day, you get 2/7 of your pay, and everybody else who has been paying property tax gets a refund for the other 5/7 of your salary, which you are not earning. Do you know how quickly schools would open back up if a politician with a backbone came out and said, if teachers are only going to have to teach for 2 hours every day, then everybody else gets a property tax refund for the rest of the day? They only get, teachers do, 2/7 of their salary because all they're doing is logging onto the computer from home and teaching for 2 hours. And we already know that that isn't effective for kids, which is why the pediatricians, 67,000 of them, came out and said kids need to be back in school. Facts matter, all right? And if you can't solve things, then you need to bring to bear the might of American marketplace and capitalism and say, if you ain't working, you ain't getting paid. And you know what would happen? An awful lot of teachers would say, it's time to go back to school. I ain't doing this for 2/7 of my salary. Boom. All right? Teachers have been out since March. I haven't seen any of them taking paychecks, taking pay cuts. I took a pay cut. A lot of you took pay cuts. A lot of you lost your jobs. Teachers got their full salaries. And now they're only going to have to work for 2 hours every day? Not happening. Give them 2/7 of their salaries. I bet teachers will be on the front line saying open schools back up. And on top of this, same thing goes for colleges. You're not teaching. We know that online instruction is about half as effective based on studies at best as in-person instruction. Cut every college professor's salary in half if schools aren't opening up for colleges. I bet they will show up and argue that schools need to open back up if you start taking money out of their pockets. This is a market-based solution to what should be a major problem, and it's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's not independent. Because the kids that are falling the furthest behind are the 31% without computer and the 20% without internet, and they also have parents that can't afford to stay home with them, okay? Being able to keep kids out of school is a luxury rich people can afford. It's not a luxury that poor people can afford. You want to talk about equality? Keeping poor kids out of school for 2 years, which is what might end up happening, is going to put them irretrievably behind other richer kids when it comes to their overall educational outcomes. I am fired up about this because the data is straightforward and clear. There is zero argument on the other side. Zero. Kids are not vectors to spread this disease. They very rarely have it. when they do get it, they tend to get it from their parents inside of their house. They have almost no negative outcomes. They are 20 times as likely to die of the flu, the seasonal flu. And we rarely shut down any school for more than a day or two for the seasonal flu. John Cooper, who is the mayor of Nashville, is a disgrace. His decision-making ever since he became mayor is pathetic. He is the worst mayor I have ever seen in my life in any city that I've ever lived in or near. The truth of the matter is this: I am going to get filthy rich off Outkick and the business that we are building. Filthy rich. Not rich. I'm rich. I'm moving towards filthy rich. And then I am going to decide to run for elected office, and I'm going to get elected in the state of Tennessee like that. Because you know what I'm going to say? I won't lie to you. You may not like me. You may even hate me. You may think that I'm too cocky. You may think that I'm too brash. You may think that I'm too outspoken, but I ain't lying. I am going to look at the facts, and I'm going to talk directly to people. We got to stop letting these idiots make idiotic decisions that set the rest of us all behind because they're not smart enough to actually make decisions and because they can't handle living in the fire and having people mad at them. I live there. Nobody's going to intimidate me. Nobody's going to get your boy scared. Nobody's going to get your boy rattled. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think every single day, like I do for 3 hours on the radio, like I do here, like I do on television. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to win because that's what I do. Okay? So I am fired up about this. There's zero justification for shutting down schools. There's zero justification for kids not being in college this fall. All of it is a house of lies. It is built on stupidity and people who have bought into fear porn and media that are either complicit in understanding what they're spreading or not smart enough to understand what the actual data says. I am fired up today on a lot of different levels because I see college football and schools K through 12 directly connected. Everybody, kindergarten all the way through. By the way, the thing I love the most in this world is my 5-year-old, my 9-year-old, and my 12-year-old, okay? I am telling you right now, they 100 billion% need to be in school. And if the state of Tennessee ain't going to do it, I might have to relocate for the fall to Florida so my kindergartner can go to school. And by I mean whatever my wife decides to do, I will follow. Because ultimately she makes the decisions in the house. People always say, like, Clay, do you believe everything you say? Yes, 1 billion% I believe everything I say. But I speak for myself only. I don't even speak for my house. I've been married 16 years and I have learned a very important lesson. When big decisions have to be made for the household, my wife makes them. But when big decisions have to be made for Outkick, I make those decisions. All right? Because my wife doesn't care. But the truth of the matter is, this is insanely ludicrous on every level. That schools are not opening in Nashville, that the Big Ten is deciding to start to cut games, every single element of it. All right, I got to give you some positivity here to finish off the show today. I want to give props to Julian Edelman. If you didn't watch Julian Edelman's video, we're going to talk about it a lot tomorrow morning on the radio show, which you should subscribe to by searching out Outkick. You can also get the audio version of this show. I don't talk about that enough. If you're watching this right now and you're like, man, I really like this, I want to share it, you can certainly share the video. But we have an audio version of this show that goes up right after it. All right? And we're getting massive audience for that as well. The audio version of this show is up on iTunes. If you search out Outkick, you'll get our morning radio show, and then you will get the audio version of this. So if you've got a friend or you got a relative or you got somebody that you think is a Coronabro and you think they're persuadable by actually being shared facts, share them the link. Say, hey, go listen to Clay Travis. He will speak the truth, which is what I do every single day. Julian Edelman responded perfectly to the Deshaun Jackson issue with the anti-Semitism. Let me explain what I mean. Deshaun Jackson said idiotic things about being about Jewish people, about Hitler. I didn't want to get into all the stupidity that he shared. All right, I have said for a long time, but I will continue to say, if you judge anybody by their race, their religion, their sexuality, you're an idiot. All right? Judge people as individuals, not as an identity with which they represent. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, gay, straight. I don't care about any of it. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're atheist. I don't care about any of it, right? I judge people individually, regardless of what other identities they might embrace, all right? I would ask you to do the same thing for me. That's what Julian Edelman just did. Julian Edelman said, hey, Deshaun Jackson, you said a lot of dumb things. What I would suggest is that we need, as a group, you and me, to go to the Holocaust Museum, which I have been to in Washington, D.C., where I went to college. It's a great museum to go through, to educate yourself, to grow your mind, to learn a better perspective on the world at large. And then we'll also go to the Black History Museum, which is another good example of something that you should do in Washington, D.C. And by the way, you should also go to the archives. You should go see the Declaration of Independence, which is the founding document that our entire country is based upon, really. It's a constant tension between the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. The reason we should all celebrate July 4th is because the Declaration of Independence inspired throughout history the decisions that have been made from the ending of slavery to the civil rights movement to the continued evolution of human rights and embrace in this country. This is, I believe, a smart decision that Julian Edelman made to respond not by trying to cancel anyone, because cancel culture is inherently wrong and flawed, but by trying to expand the mind of someone, okay? And so, the decision that Julian Edelman made, the olive branch that he extended, is one that everybody should emulate in all of American life, not just sports. Instead of trying to cancel people when they say something that you disagree, try to educate them more. Try to make better sense of them and with them. That's what needs to happen. That's what should happen. It was, from Julian Edelman, who is Jewish, the perfect response that makes tremendous sense going forward. All right. I love all of you. I appreciate all of you. I thank you for blowing up Outkick's audience as we move into July on a level I never would have imagined. Literally every single day, millions of people are now consuming Outkick content. Millions. Across radio, across social, across the web. Every single day now, 1 million or more people are seeing what we produce. And that's because of you guys. I appreciate all of you and the time that you spend here with me. I encourage you to spread the Outkick message far and wide. Go sign up for VIP, DBAP, unless you need to SBAP. My name is Clay Travis. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for 3 hours on the radio from 6 to 9, Sirius XM channel and 83 nationwide. All 50 states affiliates, one of the biggest audiences in all of sports, and in fact, the biggest audience in all of sports for morning radio anywhere in the country. We have a great show lined up for you. It should be fantastic. I will see you tomorrow. DBAP unless you need to SBAP. Share the show. My name is Clay Travis. This has been Outkick the Show. Kisses. See y'all. Love you. Thank you, Facebook. See you guys.